You have the public defender office that came out today. The public defender office just said the office is actively preparing for racketeering indictment on the 4PF and OMF cases, and that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted with others. If they know what the ops did to you, they know what you did to the ops. OMF
ain't looking good for Lil Baby, man. It's not looking good at all. These murderers are getting Lil Baby arrested for a RICO in 90 days. Video by Poetic Flacco. Man, this is not looking good for Lil Baby. Truly devastating news as a big Lil Baby fan that I am.
Lil Baby is cooked.
I didn't want to hear this, but it's bad, man.
But now, first seeing the initial reports today, I made my calls. And what I was told was, expect for Lil Baby to be indicted on a RICO within 90 days.
Damn.
You're probably asking yourself, what exactly is Lil Baby out here doing that's going to get him indicted on a RICO charge within 90 days? Well,
first Thug, then they got Dirk. Now Lil Baby's getting packed up.
Let's break down exactly what's going on. These are Lil Baby ops, arch nemesis of 4PF, the Goodfellas, and they are currently going through the process of being officially indicted for a RICO. The catalyst for the criminal complaint to get them off the streets, bring them in, and officially work on a RICO was the deaths of these two young men, Jack Bodie Davis and Lamont Freeman, two 13-year-olds that was tragically killed when Goodfellas attempted to spin the block on 4PF, Lil Baby's group. A lot of this you already heard before, but we're just recapping so we can get to the bombshell that dropped today.
All right.
Trust me, it's bombshells that dropped today. So Atlanta PD blamed Lil Baby for this. It said is Lil Baby cowardless actions that led to these two 13-year-old kids losing their lives.
What did Lil Baby do?
Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life.
Damn.
Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of two children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
Man, all this is Lil Baby feeling the need to still be involved in this lifestyle that created a brand that made his music so popular. And that's just a shame because he is so wealthy now. He's so far removed from this situation to come into that environment just to go into enemy territory, provoking people who don't got shit. They don't have money. They don't have fame. All they have is their ego. All they have is this sense of ownership of this territory. Even though it's ridiculous, you know, this is all these people have. These people are the products of their environment, just like everybody else. And so when you go in and stoke the fires like that, just to bail out and go back to your mansion, just so that you can still portray this image of being a thug, in this life, we get what we ask for. We get what we want. Lil Baby clearly still wanted to be a part of this street shit. Now the street shit is coming for him.
The police is blaming Lil Baby for the death of the two 13-year-olds because Lil Baby filmed a music video in the ops hood where he shouldn't have been. And because he filmed a music video in their hood, the music video got shot up, right? Two people got hurt. And because of that, Lil Baby and 4PF, they spun a block. And they shot and killed an affiliate of Goodfellas called Trevante Turner. And after they shot and killed Trevante Turner, Goodfellas spun back on 4PF. And when they shot up the neighborhood, they shot and killed the two 13-year-olds. So
I
they're
see.
directly blaming Lil Baby for this.
Authorities say a high-ranking member of the Goodfellas gang who was incarcerated.
If Lil Baby didn't go into enemy territory, he could have still listened. The grand majority of people who listen to Lil Baby's music, they have no clue about anything that's going on in the streets. They have when they see you shoot a music video in your hood as opposed to the enemy's hood, 99% of people watching that music video have no clue where you are or what you're doing or what the significance of this place is. So Lil Baby could have easily shot the exact same music video in his own old hood, places where he's welcome. Why go into the enemy territory? For what? The people watching the music video, they're not going to even pick up what's going on. It's clearly a message being sent directly to these people, the Goodfellas. Why? Why do you care? You're rich, you're famous, you have everything that you could have ever wanted, and you have it at a young age. Why do this, man? And then we get two innocent boys passing away as a result of it.
Orchestrated the attack using a smuggled cell phone. Following those instructions, the suspects opened fire at an apartment complex where the three young teens were gathered to celebrate Freeman's birthday. Police say they weren't the targets.
Here's where things start getting interesting for Lil Baby. So Goodfellas got caught. They rounded up all the dusty ninjas who took the lives of these two precious little boys.
These kids were innocent victims. So when we talk about the gang involvement, these two 13-year-olds and this 11-year-old, they didn't have a gang involvement.
Those arrested were identified as Keontae Sanders, Richard Hollis, Reginald Thomas, DeKeithion Mobley, Marcus Crawford, Tradon Crawford, and Ali Caldwell. The final two were arrested Tuesday. Police had some tough talk for those responsible.
Here's where things start getting really tricky for Lil Baby and really bad. It's the principle, the common math I always preach on this channel. If the police know what the ops did to you, then they know what you did to the ops. And it's very seldom you see the police indict your ops for a RICO and don't indict you. It happens all the time, all right? 4PF, not 4PF, but YSL, YFN. Well, they know what YFN did to YSL and they know what YSL did to YFN. That's usually how the police work. They put the pieces together. Hence, if your ops get a RICO, you probably get a RICO. And in the case of Lil Baby, Goodfellas is going through the court process right now.
But day 3 of officially doing something, I think. They're going to do something today. Of the Goodfella gang, where they are trying to see if they're going to move forward for the indictment, move forward for it to go to the grand jury.
Now, listen, Lil Baby is beefing with Goodfella, but today in court, there was wiretaps being played, and on one of the wiretaps, somebody mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets, aka a bag, a bounty, on some people's heads. If they know what the ops did to you, they know what you did to the ops. That's the code of the streets, people. So don't ever celebrate your ops getting a RICO, bruh. That just means that you next. Now, if we look at the receipts for Trevante Turner, the police report when he passed away, if you look at the literal police report, they listed 4PF as a criminal street gang which laid claims to the Oakland City neighborhood of Atlanta. And they talked about the shooting death of Trevante Turner, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you go all the way down, they talk about Lil Baby music video shoot getting shot up. And they listed 3 people were shot during the incident. And now again, this is 4PF we're talking about here, right? They says, and the gang leader of 4PF, is Dominic Lil Baby Jones. And they say he was almost struck by gunfire. Now they're claiming after the incident that 4PF went on a murder spree in get back for anybody thinking they could touch Lil Baby. When you start seeing the police begin to identify isolated incidents, every time they see an isolated incident with somebody who, let's say, belongs to a fraternity or a gang, when you start to see them every time identified as furtherance of a gang, oh, they shot that person, furtherance of a gang. Oh, they shot furtherance of a gang. They could have very easily said Trevante Turner got killed by these two people. But the fact that they went out of their way to put 4PF there, went out of their way to identify Lil Baby as the gang leader says something. Now, I knew that 4PF was going to get a RICO for about 2 years now. And I knew this the second I seen what happened with 4PF Nate. Now, if you guys don't know, 4PF Nate, an associate of Lil Baby's, now he got sentenced to 40 years in jail for murder. But I knew that something was up at trial of 4PF Nate. 4PF Nate on your left, Keontae Davis on your right. Them two are being accused of murdering a man who goes by the name of Jaquavius Wilson. 4PF Nate was the shooter. Keontae Davis was present. So when Keontae Davis got caught, the police actually made Keontae Davis bite the cheese, all right? Keontae Davis is in paperwork identifying 4PF Nate as the shooter. Per the discovery provided by the state, co-defendant Keontae Davis appears to select and identify Mr. Nathan Benford during Davis' interview on the night of Davis' arrest. Now, according to them, they used a picture from 4PF Nate's Instagram, right? And what they would say is Detective Grandy showed Davis a picture from what appears to be Brentford's Instagram after Davis has supplied Detective Grandy with defendant's Instagram account username. The defense is fighting this. They would claim that they showed Keontae Davis 3 pictures. 2 of them belong to 4PF Nate. So they saying, come on, bro, it's suggestive in nature. But nonetheless, though, Keontae Davis told, right? He bit the cheese and 4PF Nate got 40 years in jail. Keontae Davis got probation. Now, here's the thing. Keontae Davis already identified 4PF Nate. It should have stopped there, but it didn't, right? Because you know what the prosecutors did? They tacked on gang charges on top of the murder. And they did that specifically to tie this 4PF.
Yeah.
It's a pattern here. Yeah. Whenever a shooting or act of violence happens, it's not enough to just charge the person with the crime individually. No. They tack on gang charges. So it can be on record that this murder was done under 4PF's behalf to further the gang.
Right. And so I see what he's saying. Essentially, Keontae, he snitched, and because he got off on basically probation and there were gang charges stacked on top of it, this guy was going to be used to bring down the whole gang. They weren't just going to let him off on probation just for snitching on this one dude. Once they see that they have an angle to basically shoehorn the gang stuff in with this event, this murder that occurred. And so I see what Poetic Flacco is saying. He's saying, look, the second that gang shit got tied to that murder, and this dude got off on probation for snitching, they were going to use this guy to snitch on the whole gang.
And Keontae Davis was used by the prosecutor to identify 4PF as a gang, right? To testify that, yes, this was done by 4PF Nate. So now we're in a position now where you have somebody on wiretap saying, yeah, bro, like Lil Baby put bags on people's head.
That's crazy.
You have 2 murders that was charged under 4PF. You have the public defender office that came out today,
right,
and confirmed, yes, we are gearing up for the 4PF RICO. Sean Hoover, who manages the Georgia Public Defenders Council specialized unit in gang cases. So the public defenders who handle the gang cases for gang members who can't have attorneys because they can't afford it. The public defender office just said the office is actively preparing for racketeering indictment on the 4PF and OMF cases, and that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted with others. If they know what the ops did to you, they know what you did to the ops. OMF
ain't looking good for Lil Baby, man. It's not looking good at all.
F is Goodfellas, by the way. So when they played a wiretap of somebody saying Lil Baby is putting bags on people's heads, that wasn't by coincidence. They're just lining everything up so the foundation can be set. When they put the 2 murders under 4PF, right, as a gang activity, that was on purpose. Is not by coincidence at all. And Keontae Davis, the one who identified 4PF Nate as the shooter, the one who identified 4PF as a gang in trial, in court, well, coincidentally, once Lil Baby and them have been notified, by the way, that a RICO is coming, because obviously, if the public defender's office know, Lil Baby and them know, well, that Keontae Davis, you know what happened to him as of lately, about 2 days ago?
Oh, I can guess. I can take a guess.
Let me tell you what happened to him 2 days ago.
This morning, Atlanta police say they are investigating a homicide that happened overnight, less than a mile away on Lakewood Avenue. Our crew saw police overnight collecting evidence on that scene. We are still working to learn exactly what happened and get more information about this scene. We'll bring you those updates as soon as we get them and give them to you on 11.
All reality, though, I'm surprised he lived that long. He did this snitching 2 years ago, according to Flacco. I didn't realize that snitches have such long lifespans after they do their snitching. I thought in the hood, those guys, snitches get stitches.
The man that was taken to the hospital and succumbed to his injuries, that man was identified by the Fulton medical examiner as 27-year-old Keontae Davis. So a person who snitched on 4PF, they got him 40 years in jail. A person who was going to be used by the prosecutors to turn on 4PF, that star witness gets killed. Now, listen, this could have came from anywhere. This could have came from Goodfellas, right? For Keontae Davis playing a role in Jaquavius Wilson losing his life. It could have came from 4PF because he, was ratting. He snitched on 4PF, Nate.
That's true.
Well, what I can tell you is regardless of where it came from, Atlanta PD isn't happy with the amount of murders that keep taking place within this conflict.
I can imagine.
And these people are so stupid. Yo, if y'all know it's hot, like if y'all know, bruh, that y'all continuing this conflict, all that's going to do, bruh, is get every one of y'all locked up on a RICO.
Yeah, classic, what you resist will persist. Anytime you use desperation, desperate energy, trying to stop something, you usually make it worse.
Why even engage? Yo, if I'm in the streets, bro, and I got ops, bro, and it's wartime, man, and we know the police is watching, and we know every time a murder happens between one of us, bro, they're gonna tie it to the other gang. At some point, just chill.
Right.
Just wait it out. Because the more murders that happen, bro, the faster y'all are getting indicted for the RICO, bro. And I don't understand, how could y'all be so stupid? How could y'all be so stupid? If you know them folks trying to get y'all booked, if you know them folks is bringing a RICO, and they're just jotting down all the murders, bro, and charging it to the game, why are y'all keep on murdering folks? And if Lil Baby and them is involved in Keontae Davis losing his life, man, goodbye.
Yeah.
Y'all let me know in the comment section, man. What do you guys think about this? All right. Y'all think it's fair that the RICO is coming for Lil Baby, man? All right. I was told 90 days.
Yeah. If he is involved in this gang shit, if he's putting money in people's pockets, if he's putting tickets on people's heads, then how can he be excused from responsibility? And clearly, he's in an immature fashion, still immersing himself in a lifestyle and a life that he has escaped. He got out. He was one of the few people who actually made it out. And instead of cutting ties with that life, right, and those people, or trying to find legitimate ways of bringing them into his life, which that doesn't seem to work out most of the time, he goes back in. He's involving himself unnecessarily, provoking the ops. And now, the chickens have come home to roost. But you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe, all of that.